Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Rules Horror. Story 1. Winter Games November Novices. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Do not use any of the rules for treating hypothermia and frostbite to treat actual hypothermia or frostbite. You have signed up for a seemingly harmless activity, but there is no turning back now. Follow the rules and you will get fame beyond all belief. 1. The rules are placed in order of importance. Some prankster teenagers found the link to where it was made and made changes to it. If a later rule contradicts a previous rule, is completely off topic, or has grammar or spelling mistakes, either ignore it, contradict it, or scribble it out. We know the first 5 rules were written by us, but anything else may or may not be written by those pranksters. They don't know how dire it is to stick to the rules. It could save your life just to follow Rule 6 or 9. 2. If someone is drowsy, extremely cold, has slurred speech, and is shivering, they have hypothermia, call a medic. If there are none, follow the steps below. 2a. Gently get them out of the cold and monitor breathing 24/7. 2b. Use warm, not hot things. It is crucial that it is warm. 2c. Remove any wet clothing. 2d. Wrap their body in warm blankets. Ignore them saying that they feel hot. It is important that you follow these rules. A life is at stake. 2e. Make them drink warm water and fluids. 2f. Apply cold compresses to the neck, chest, and groin. Only those 3 spots. 3. If a person has cold, numb, discolored, and / or hard skin, they have frostbite. Call a medic. If there are none, follow the steps below. 3a. Soak them in warm, not hot water for 20 to 30 seconds or until their skin is normal. Monitor the temperature of the water and keep it warm. 3b. Red skin is not too severe, white and blistered skin is pretty severe, but black skin is deep frostbite. 3c. Amputation is a last resort, use it only if skin dies. 4. Do not buy your own equipment. It is provided and bought just before the Winter Games. There is no physical or mental punishment for this rule, but there is definitely an economic one. All that equipment would cost near thousands of dollars. We have the money and equipment. Sure, a couple thousand may not be anything near 10 million, but will you even have the physical, mental, and emotional resilience to win that 10 million? 5. Do not attempt to drink melted ice or snow, but in the case that you are desperate enough to do so, boil it first. Being desperate enough to drink snow is one thing, finding a way to boil it is another. 6. Put on equipment for all sorts of wintry sports given to you in the resorts and hotels there. We will visit several mountains and snowy/icy places throughout all 4 months of winter, including the dreaded Hazelwood Mountain and the tame Melon Meadows. 7. Use the bathroom and eat plenty. Once you leave the hotel for the games, you can't go back. Make sure you have done everything you need to do before leaving. 7a. There is a 5-minute ad intermission before each game begins and a week to prepare for the next game or recuperate physically and mentally from the previous. Any contestants not there by then will be disqualified. 8. Never give people up, let people down, run around, or hurt a dude named you. 9. This is obvious so it's lower on the list, but don't wander too far from ski resorts, especially during the later games. Every second you spend in the wild whittles you down mentally and physically. 10 minutes is the point of no return mentally, 20 is the point of no return physically, but it's best not to go away in the first place. 10. Don't eat yellow snow. Now that you have gone through the rules, we will go to Bavaria. November will be calm, but it gets more intense further into winter, peaking at February. Here is your plane ticket. Enjoy the flight and go ham with alliances and trickery before it's too late to do either. Story 2. Museum Security Guard Manual. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. If you are reading this, you are a security guard at the Moore/Museum of Rarity. If this is not the case, please return this to the proper authorities. Good morning, new slave worker. This book will show you how to be a proper guard at this facility. But first, you must know the basic rules. Hello. Welcome to our Museum of Rarity or more. We have about 11 rules and 3A numbers. Please follow not just for your safety, but everybody's safety. Now please listen up. Rules. 1. Remember to always be kind and respectful. We want everybody to be invited here. Blacks, whites, Asians, Americans, etc. If you see a very unkind/unrespectful person, please call or inform staff about them. We will take care of them. If you are the mean one, refer to 2A. 2. Do not touch any displays. Especially the skeleton ones. Don't wanna break the items shown, don't you? Don't wanna tumble the dead skeletons that have been here for decades. Don't want spirits haunting you for centuries even in death. If you do touch our displays, refer to 2A. 3. If you see staff, please greet them. Hey, this job is really hard. We have trespassers, rule breakers, robbers, and a lot more to deal with. A simple hey or hi will do. Just don't start conversations, most of them are introverts. If you do, refer to 2A. 4. Do not annoy staff. They may look nice and approachable, but do not, I repeat, do not annoy our staff. There have been countless reports of people annoying staff, example, touching, playing, speaking, punching them, and then going missing for 10 days later to appear either dead due to succumbing to injuries or on the brink of death. Please don't annoy staff. They're shy and don't like annoying people. If you do, either accept death or refer to 1A. 5. If you hear knocking, call the staff. If you don't, refer to 1A. 6. Never use our computers for playing. Staff will see you. And you don't wanna annoy staff. Either that or you want to see heaven or hell. If you do use our computers for playing, refer to 1A or 2A. 7. If a book appears in one of the glass displays, call staff. Any books found in our glass displays are not meant to be there. All books are in the library and books from the library that are displayed are only in the library. Never trust any other books displayed outside the library, and books that are displayed in the library are only the Bible and dictionary. He placed them there. If you can't call staff, refer to 1A. 8. Never look behind you. If you do, either tell the staff and they will lead you to what to do. Go to the bathroom, close your eyes, and leave the museum and never come back. If you can't find exits, refer to 2A. 9. Once you exit, never go or look at the back seat. Never go to the back seat. If you do enter the back seat, refer to 3A. 10. If you hear scratching, walk out of the museum. Look up now. If you don't walk out or look up, refer to 2A, ignore the last part of 2A, then 3A. Read that? Yeah, me neither. Anyway, here are the emergency rules. Hello once again. Welcome back to our Museum of Rarity or more, but instead now these aren't any regular rules, these are emergency rules or ER more. Listen to these rules in case of emergency. ER more. 1. When in an emergency, get out of it. During an emergency, refer to 2A and you might be safe. We are not liable for any deaths that happen in this facility. 2. Guns won't work. No matter what you do, no matter what emergency happens, gun activity will just fail. No guns would work, from crossbows to smart guns nothing would work. It would just fail. We still have no idea why and are investigating this problem as these rules are being written. As you're reading this too. Just remember, we are your friends. 3. Don't call staff during this. All staff will already know 10 minutes before it even happens. No need for a call. If you do, you better start praying. 4. Never trust yellow fire exits. These are mouths ready for biting, these creatures only feed on humans. If an animal like a pig walks by it, nothing will happen. It would just work as normal. But with a human, it will first see the outside. Then after a few minutes of walking but not moving, the room will turn into a stomach. This whole time, you were walking to a stomach. It only takes 9 hours for it to digest everything except the skull. 5. Remember the 3 E's. Escape, the building, entrust, staff and friends, elaborate, the situation to the cops. A. Rules. 1a. If any rules say, refer to 1a or such, here, there is a staff room in every corner of every room, go to the first cabinet and get the gun. Shoot the thing that you got the gun for. 2a. If any rules say, refer to 2a or such, here, there are exits or bunkers in main rooms 1 to 3, the library, and the earth display room. Go to one of these. Main room 2 is mostly in the middle, so this is your best option most of the time, and hide/run out. You have to run up from 20 minutes to 2 hours. 3a. If any rules say, refer to 3a or such, here, this is only for outside our museum. You have to drive or walk for 2 hours and then lay down on anything non-dangerous while whispering. Don't ever do so again. For 5 minutes. Then, go to your destination. Sheesh. That was long. Anyway, why are we here? Right. You're signing up for the guard position. Now, here are more rules. Yay! First of all, are you a daytime watchman or a nighttime protector? If you're signing up for both, you will suffer. But anyway, we will now show both. Daytime. 1. Do not interact with any of our guests. Remember, they are either your food source or just dead meat. 2. When in an emergency, do not call the cops. Let our food do so for us. 3. If you see a guest steal any of our artifacts, murder them in cold blood. Time to feast. 4. If staff steals, tase them with your taser, then bring them to our founder, who is located on the 13th floor. 5. Murder all posers. Gut them. 6. Keep a taser, handgun, and head for protection, and intimidation. Yay! Nighttime. 1. All staff will leave but you. Do not be afraid. 2. Our founder will not leave with staff. If you see our founder, immediately empty your clip on them. That is not our founder. 3. In case of robbers, do not deal with them but report them to our founder, who is now on the 3rd floor. 4. If there are still guests in the building, feast. 5. After midnight, all artifacts will transfer back to their first position and come back at 12:30 am. Make sure nobody is on the same floor you are on. If there is, refer to Rule 6. 6. If you are on the 3rd floor or somebody is with you during the transferring, blindfold yourself with any cloth near you. If there isn't any cloth, do not panic. You now are the feast. Or just close your eyes, whatever suits you, I guess. And that's cut. Thank you for reading. Wait, you're asking why there isn't anything talking about what you should do because this is a manual? Oh silly, this is r/rule shorer. We can't do that or we'll get deleted. What's a r/rule shorer? Too bad. You will never know. End of the manual. Story 3. Welcome dreamer to your first lucid dream. Let's hope it isn't your last too. A place to share scary stories which contain a set of rules to follow. Congratulations, proud Onironaut. You've achieved what most people will never attain, you've reached a lucid dream. However, your journey doesn't end here. It is only the beginning. What? You thought it was over? You hoped that mere discipline would be enough to grant you total control over your dreams? What a fool! Your efforts so far have only given you the chance of becoming a lord of dreams, a master of your own mind. After all, nothing in this world is given to you for free, it must be earned. But don't despair. Follow these simple rules and you will make it out safe and sound. 1. This twisted reality is made of endless corridors and decaying halls. No matter how daunting the way ahead, you must never, I repeat, never stop moving. You've already reached the point of no return. There's no way back, only forward. 2. Sometimes, you will find termite-ridden closets and rusted lockers. Whatever you do, don't even think of hiding in there. You have no idea what terrors lurk in the dark corners of your subconscious, and it's best for you if it stays that way. 3. If you're lucky, or unlucky, see Rule 3b, you might encounter mirrors hung from the bare walls of this place between places. 3a. Look closely at the image beyond the looking glass. Is it clawing its eyes out in incredible anguish? Are there inhuman features twisted by unbearable suffering? Are they screaming, begging for help, for release? Good. Grant their wish, break the mirror however you see fit. Shatter their shackles. These poor souls will never forget your kindness, and they will return the favor. In this cursed limbo, that's invaluable. 3b. Is it instead sporting a bright smile? Is it friendly, waving at you? Does it seem familiar, even comforting? Step away from that thing as fast as you can. Don't touch the surface of the mirror. The man of glass isn't known as one of the cruelest entity in the multiverse for nothing. The mirror dimension is a descending, torturous dark hell. No one can stay sane in that nightmare, except for the horrors that call it home. So, it's a trap. Run away as far and as fast as you possibly can. 4. If you see pictures hanging from the walls, or frames sitting on dusty shelves, don't look at them. If you do, immediately avert your gaze and whisper an apology. It really doesn't like to be seen. 5. If you ever find yourself in what seems a public restroom, count the number of stalls. 5a. If there are 3 or less, you're safe. The mirrors are safe, the toilet is safe, the sink is safe. Take the chance to rest, because it's a blessed opportunity that won't be given to you very often. 5b. If there are 4 or 5 stalls, don't let your guard down. It isn't particularly dangerous, at least for this place's standards, but it isn't safe either. All the rules above apply. 5c. If there are 6 stalls, or even 7. Well, then it was fate. I hope God will have mercy, because they surely won't. 6. You may find some cockroaches scurrying around the floor. Try your best to not step on them. At best, they'll get annoyed and the corridors and halls will become much more dangerous. After all, they are the eyes and ears of this place, and they always know where you are. If you are particularly unlucky, though, you will gain their hatred, and I don't have to tell you how screwed up you'll be then, do I? 7. Surprisingly, spiders are not your enemy. On the contrary, they are some of the most loyal allies you can get around here. Their webs hold plenty of useful items, and their gentle swaying will alert you of incoming danger. If you find some dead flies lying around, offer them to your 8-legged buddies. They will never forget. In the moment of greatest danger, call out the name of Arachne, the spider goddess, and they will come to your aid and shield you from harm. 8. Similarly to spiders, scorpions are another extremely important asset to your journey. Although they are much more secretive and reserved than their web-spinning kin, they are also much more powerful. Their venom is an unbreakable ward against the evils of this dreamscape, and their chitin offers unparalleled protection against the nightmares that stalk this place. To gain their favor, simply help their spider cousins to a sufficient extent. Although it doesn't look that way, they're highly protective of all arachnids, and as the saying goes, a friend of a friend. 9. Sometimes, in your aimless travels, you will find locked chests and drawers. The lock is rusted and brittle, and will break easily. It's up to you if you open them or not. Great rewards, but also great dangers await. 9a. You find a dead fly. You now have a way to improve your standing among spiderkin and all related creatures. 9b. You find nothing. A sting of disappointment may surface in the depths of your heart, but remember, you still got somewhat lucky. 9c. You find a note, scribbled with letters of an incomprehensible language. You're in luck. Focus on the scribbles, and your brain will gain more awareness of its current predicament. Your control over dreams may increase, and you will be able to somewhat influence the rest of your journey with your raw force of will. You might be able to divert some entity's attention, reap greater rewards, or even gain the ability to slightly bend the rules of this place. If you're really powerful, and your will to survive is exceedingly strong, you might also be able to ward off the Grim Reaper's scythe for a limited amount of instances. But do not get cocky, dreams and nightmares aren't easily tamed. It's still a step in the right direction, though. 9D You find a razor blade, dirty and rusty. A sacrifice must be made. Take it, and cut your arm, do not give in to the pain and despair. They are addictive. Steel your resolve, and steady your hand, but do not be afraid. Bleed too little, and they'll deem the sacrifice unworthy. Bleed too much, and their hunger and greed will know no bounds. Moderation is key to keep your inner demons in check. 9E You find a bloodied nail. I'm so sorry. 10 If you see a crucifix hanging on the walls, run away. Here, they are not a symbol of holiness and faith, but an horrible instrument of torment and oppression. Bathe too long in their bloodlust, and you'll face reckoning for your sins. If you're a righteous individual, and are 100% sure that you have no sin, even the most inconsequential, weighing on your conscience, you may attempt to purify one of these. Should you succeed, you will find that your journey will become significantly easier. After all, even in this valley of darkness, the tyranny of evil still fears the wrath of righteous men. 11 If you find a bed, you can stop and catch your breath. You can go to sleep, even. You'll wake up in the real world, and so you can get some respite from all the eldritch abominations lurking in this lucid dream. However, these beds are not an exit. They act more like some sort of checkpoint. A bonfire for lost, dark souls, if you will, used to restore hope and heal the soul. Whenever you fall asleep in the waking world, you'll find yourself back at the checkpoint. Countless trials still await you. 12 Eventually, you will reach the room of fate. Choose your destiny, take your chosen path, and you'll be granted a boon. At best, you'll get the power of fire, and most of the weaker entities will try to avoid your fiery gaze. At worst, you'll get a chicken? Well, do not question it. A boon, it's still a boon, maybe it will be useful as emergency food, or for stalling space gorillas. 13 After passing the room of fate, you'll be halfway through your journey. Independently from the path you choose, after some time you'll reach the final destination, the Hall of Judgment. Here Hypnos, the god of sleep, and his brother Thanatos, god of death, will pass judgment upon your soul. Have you achieved outstanding results during your trials and tribulations? Did you manage to avoid most of dangers thrown your way, demonstrating good judgment and caution? Or did you brave them all, facing them with unbreakable courage and unshakable determination? Or were you a coward, never taking risks, never exploring the abyss of your soul, afraid it'll stare back? Did you stay safe and sound in your comfort zone, never once stepping out of bounds, pushing the limits of your mind, of what you thought possible and impossible? If you made friends during your stay in the dreamscape, they will put a good word out for you. The mirror prisoners will recall your kindness, the spiders will sing hushed songs of your generosity, scorpions will praise the gentleness with which you treated their brothers and sisters, and rarely even cockroaches, if you've managed not to step on them even accidentally, will report on the respect you've showed them. Each and every one of these recommendations will influence the god's judgment, and will determine whether or not you ascend on the dream realm or are still unworthy of such honor. Hypnos smiles at you, benevolence filling his expression. You've made it. Now you're a lord of dreams. Never again will you experience nightmares or suffer from an agitated sleep. You will always have wonderful dreams, that will leave you refreshed and inspired. If your achievements are particularly outstanding, you might be able to slightly change reality through the dreamscape. Thanatos shakes his head, and contempt washes over you. Unfortunately, you wasted your chance. You didn't take enough risks, and you didn't achieve a mental and spiritual breakthrough, nor will you ever be able to. The character flaws that have impacted this visit are too profound to be resolved. Thus, you are barred from entering the dreamscape a second time. You failed to ascend and gain control over yourself, forever dooming yourself to the role of a pawn in the greater pictures. You had your chance to break your chains, but you have chosen to remain a slave, blind and mute. Now, you can only regret. The gods look at each other, uncertainty clear on their divine features. It wasn't enough, but you clearly have potential. Although your exploits have earned their interest, you're still immature. You're not ready to ascend, but you are not barred from entry either. It's up to you. Is the hellish experience you've just lived through worth finally gaining enlightenment? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.